back. You're watching IT International. Israel's prime minister has arrived in Moscow and is meeting with President Putin to discuss the Middle East's most pressing issues. Now, Benjamin Netanyahu has already brought up the issue of security in the Golan Heights as a main concern. The area is a Syrian territory of strategic importance occupied by Israel. It was captured during a six-day war in 1967, and despite Israel's claims, it is viewed internationally as Syrian territory. And the two nations are yet to sign a peace agreement over the dispute. Well, I'm now joined live by Eliezer Safir, who is a former Israel security official. Mr. Safir, thanks so much for talking to us here on RT International. So, of course, the issue of Golan Heights could be one of the significant ones during the talks. What do you make of that?
Thank you. Good afternoon. I would like firstly to say I'm sorry for the Russian victim in Palmyra. I didn't know that. I heard your news. My condolences to his family. Now, I think that this meeting, one of meetings of our Prime Minister with President Putin is very, very important in the sense of this kind of relationship between Israel and Russia. I think this coordination is very important to prevent possibility of mistakes against each other, because every party has got its own interest in the area. Our main problem is not only in the Golan Heights, but also vis-à-vis Lebanese border with Hezbollah, when we know, and it's already clear, that Iran and Hezbollah are doing a lot in order to organize activity against Israel in the Golan Heights, and maybe sometimes also from the direct Israeli border with Lebanon, knowing that Hezbollah has already about 100,000 missiles and rockets hiding, waiting for the opportunity to shoot against Israel.
Well, certainly, as we know, this region is very volatile, and as you rightly put it, there's a lot on the agenda of this meeting. But both Iran and the Iran-backed Lebanese group Hezbollah will apparently be discussed by the two leaders, as we just mentioned. Let's now take a listen to Netanyahu voicing his concerns.
We are doing everything we can to prevent Hezbollah obtaining modern weapons from Syria and Iran.
Now, in your view, what will be talked about in particular?
Well, first of all, I don't have any inside information about what our Prime Minister will be talking, and of course I have no authority to speak about it. I think that the major thing is a kind of again and again coordination with Russia and between the forces, mainly the air forces of both countries, in order to prevent possibility of mistakes done against each other.
Well, certainly the two leaders have to work through a lot of issues there, but how are you feeling about the outcome of the talks?
I think that the talks are very positive things, which show that it's both interest of Russia and Israel to make these meetings, to make this coordination. I'm sure the results are will be good, except that I personally, when I'm asked, I don't understand and I can't understand 2 points in Russian policy, but this is my personal look over the thing. I have great respect for Russia. Russia today is not Soviet Russia in the past. I think that Russia has its own values, and maybe it's understanding towards the Islamic world. Now, Iran is a terror state. Syria is a terror state. President Assad has already killed 500,000 people of his own people, except for millions of refugees gone. Hezbollah is already declared by most of the Arab states as illegitimate. I don't understand why Russia is supporting Iran and indirectly and Syria and indirectly.
Well, Mr. Zafir, certainly what you I understand your concerns. Yes, we don't have very much time left. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but we don't have very much time left. I understand your concerns.
No, excuse me.
Go ahead.
Excuse me. That's the other point is that the Islamic world is about 1.5 billion people on the globe. The Shiite are a minority, less than 15, very hated and very threatened by most of the Islamic world. I don't understand why Russia is supporting this.
Well, Russia is fighting terrorism just like any civilized state on this planet, and Russia, just like Israel, is not immune to terrorism. You probably know that. So, and I understand your concerns certainly very well, because you live in a very volatile region. And there are a lot of issues on the plate here, and in fact, a lot of contentious issues. And there are a lot of questions that a lot of world powers would like Israel to answer for, and also the issue of Golan Heights, as we talked about earlier. Of course, these are very, very contentious issues that need to be discussed. Plus, again, I mean, the stand of Israel on Golan Heights and Netanyahu's position that he said he's not going to return the Golan Heights to Syria, and that internationally is Syrian territory. So we see a lot of complicated things there, and a lot of things intertwined. But as you said, I mean, earlier expressed optimism for these talks. Let's all hope that something will come out to the benefit of all parties involved. Eliezer Zafir, thank you so much for talking to us here in International, former senior official in the Israel Security Agency.
Thank you.